I survived a match with Andre the Giant. He took me up in a big vertical suplex, and not only was I scared to death, I mean, my toes curled up inside my boots. But when we got down there, I learned gravity is real. And how many of those can you take? I was at somebody's house, and they were watching television. They were clicking through the channels, and I said, whoa, there's Tony Little, and look what he's doing. And when I saw that machine, the first thing that I looked at is, number one, low impact. It's gentle on the joints. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. Because no matter how often you use it, you want to use it more. You get addicted to it, really. And if I can possibly be an inspiration to others the way Tony Little has been an inspiration to me, get on the phone, get your Gazelle.
Are you ready to brawl during the fall? I sure as hell am. What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday, and we are here to watch WCW Fall Brawl 1998. The reason we're doing this one is because I had a very busy week, and I think it got to be Wednesday night or Thursday morning, and I still hadn't thought of what to do for this Sunday. So I'm like, well, let me just look up some fall brawls. And I don't remember much about 1998. When I looked at the main event, I'm like, holy shit, Brett, Warrior, Piper, Hogan, we got to watch that. There's all sorts of people on that main event, and the card looked somewhat interesting. I purchased Fall Brawl in 97 and watched that. But by the time we got to 98, we had NWO, Black and White, Wolfpack, and everything going on. I was really starting to lose whatever interest I had in WCW at that time. So I don't really remember what happened on the show or what was going on around this time. I thought that Warrior debuted in like October of 98. He must have debuted before then because he's on this show. So maybe it was early September or August even when he came into WCW. I can't remember, but I thought it was more towards the fall. But this should be an interesting one. And we always love watching these old WCW cards because hilarious shit always goes down. The card was interesting. We're going to see a lot of familiar faces on there. We have Jericho and Goldberg stuff. And it looks, oh, there you go. Okay, We Are Pro Wrestling. Thank you for that. I just saw your comment a minute ago. This infamous show, it is the one. Because I always remember seeing the replay of Davey taking that backdrop and with the Fall Brawl logo on the ring. So that's where, and I think this match opens up too. So I didn't even think about that. I mean, there's going to be a move here that really would set in course a chain of events that would end Davey Boy's life. That's kind of sad. He would only live another, 3-4 years after this, 3.5, something like that. Crazy. But yeah, I totally forgot about that. We Are Pro Wrestling, the trap door. My God. But anyway, good to see everybody here. Like Zach, like Tatanani, like Brandon McNeil, like JJ Leg, like my YouTube, like Zach. I think I got you the scroll. Yeah, and you got a new Greg emoji as well. I'm glad you found that. We got the Juliet in the house. We have Barry in the house. Where's the skip ad button? I don't know. I don't really know much about my ads. I kind of just set my ads one way and forget. I don't really change up my ad format. I really don't know much about what I do for ads. It's just I have ads checked on my settings when I send out my videos, and I try not to be obnoxious about them and put a million different ads in, but I think I have about the simplest ads you can have. In terms of skipping them, I don't remember. I remember the skip ad button from before I had premium. So I don't know if that went away on my videos. I'm sorry for that. My bad. Hopefully that will not cause any ad disruptions or anything like that throughout the video here, but I'll look into that, Barry, see if we can figure it out. Let me see who else we got in the house. We got Jeffrey Giordano. We got Mike Rouse. We got Anthony L. We have Ben Espinoza, Saram Creations, Brandon Barnes. We have, who else? Ray Frand, good to see you. Sumutaba Jana, very excited about this. Glad you are, my friend. I'm glad you're here too. Big J, did I get you? I'm not sure. Anybody else chiming in? Good to see you. Let me knock out these 2 super chats, and in the next couple of minutes here, we will hit play. So what you have to do in the meantime, you guys know the drill. Head on over to your Peacock, pull up WCW Fall Brawl, and you're going to want Season 6, Episode 1, Fall Brawl 1998. Runtime, according to Peacock on this show, is 2 hours, 48 minutes, and 36 seconds. So that's what we have on Peacock. So in just a couple of minutes, we will all hit play together. The timer right below me will begin to run, and you just got to sync your show up to the timer, and that's how we follow along here. But we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and you guys know the drill. But just in case you're new, that's what's going on. Let me knock out this super chat from our friend George Morris chiming in with his token 5. Greg, Fall Brawl 98, 10 out of 10. How are you doing, and how is Tito? What about Breakdown 98 or Ground Zero 97? Mortal Kombat 1 out now. What you do? Mortal Kombat, like a movie or the video game? I have Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis. That's all I know about Mortal Kombat. Breakdown, I thought about it. I don't really like that pay-per-view, to be honest. And Ground Zero was okay. Ground Zero in 97 was the first pay-per-view where they went to 3 hours, where the In Your Houses were now going to be themed In Your Houses, Ground Zero, Bad Blood, D-Generation X, that type of thing. And they went to 3 hours. Both of those shows were just okay to me. I think that's why they really I haven't thought about them, but there is time still in September to do Breakdown. So George, maybe I will throw Breakdown on a poll. That's what we'll do. We'll figure out what to do next week. There's no pay-per-view next week, right? No Wrestle Dreams, nothing to worry about on WWE's end either. So I think we're free next Sunday. I'll put a poll up over on the YouTubes and let you guys pick, and I will put Breakdown 98 on the poll. That's the best I can do for you there, George, because the only thing I remember about that show is Vince giving the finger, and that's setting up the whole match the next month, where we still had no resolution of a WWE champion, and then that took us into Survivor Series, where they crowned a new champion. So I felt like all this in-between stuff between SummerSlam and Survivor Series was largely forgettable, even though I did attend a couple of house shows the week after Stone Cold was fired, and WWE explained it as if he had prior, he already had contractual obligations to make these towns. So even though he was fired, he still had to contractually be there to wrestle. It was so stupid. So I remember that. But in terms of that time period, September and October of 98, I don't remember it that fondly in WWE, to be honest. We have 20 from Fox Star Killer, our friend. Very generous of you. Thank you for that. And thanks for being here. Finally able to participate in a watch along. Again, thanks to my vacation, I'm closing cashier at my store now. I'm currently on Starcade 98 in my Monday Night Wars viewing project on the network. Right on. All right, you're making some progress. You're getting into some interesting territory now, heading into 98 or 99, excuse me. And WWE is going to have a monster year, man. Monster year. Population 420. What's up? Thanks for the 5, my friend. Good to see you as always. Jets 10, Cowboys 30. I see CM Punk number 30 in the Rumble because of the merger with UFC. Maybe. I mean, Punk said he's got 2 months of free time. Survivor Series in Chicago. We might see him before the Royal Rumble. But if he did, he came out at number 30, last eliminating Cody. I mean, I think CM Punk and Cody could be a match. I do. I really do at WrestleMania. Going to be interesting. But Punk coming in, just my gut kind of says that he is. I think he will. Fox Star Killer, 20 more from you. Boy, you're on a roll tonight. Once I finish that and the final Nitro and Raw of 98, I'll be finished with 98. There was no December 31st show or episode of Thunder, and going to take a break before I start 99 because corporate rock is getting me down. Well, you only have a little bit of time to worry about that, Fox Star. You're only going to take that into Backlash. So you'll have like 4 months, maybe a little less than 4 months of corporate rock. And then it all ends after Backlash. Shane slaps him, and he was already starting to get babyfacey, because he kind of turned babyface, then turned heel at Survivor Series, and then ran with that for about 4 or 5 months, and then became babyface again just because he was too funny, too popular, too over. And that was just going to happen with him. So corporate rock is there, and he is going to be a factor, and he's going to be trading that title with Mick Foley a lot in the beginning of 99. But once he gets on the other side of WrestleMania, then things really start getting cooking for The Rock. Although he didn't do much at the King of the Ring. I think he lost a title match there. He fought Mr. Ass at SummerSlam. So Rock was on top of the world, but 99 they had poor pay-per-views that year. I went to 3 of them, WrestleMania, King of the Ring, and Unforgiven that year. They all sucked. So they were not setting the world on fire with pay-per-views. I don't know if we can ever get to watching Fall Brawl because Fox Star Killer keeps hooking us up. 10 more. So ready for the face turn heard around the world. Is this happening tonight, or are you talking about Cody or Punk or something? What happens here at this show? The face turn heard around the world. Anyway, I think that will do it for the pleasantries. We should probably start Fall Brawl 98. What do y'all think? All right. So go over to your Peacock, put your little crusty ass little fingers on the play button there, and we're all going to hit play together. Don't worry, your fingers are no more crusty than mine. We all got crusty ones. All right, we're going to do 3, 2, 1, and then we are going to hit play. I just got to get synced up on the timer there. Synced up over here. All right, I'm ready to rock. Y'all ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. We did it. We did it. Oh, WCW's shitty video package opens were always so bad. Company with all the star power, all the money behind it, had the shittiest production values. You wouldn't know it from last night's Collision based on a couple of the Take 22 thing with Keith Lee, but I've always felt AEW has got far superior production to WCW. WCW just, for whatever reason, they could have had better production than what they have, but their shit always came off looking amateur, like this type of stuff. Like these little video packages. Like, who did this? Like a high school senior? On his Windows 4 computer? Like, what the fuck? It just doesn't look good. Like, it doesn't, WWE's packages were always got you hyped for the show, and they were so well done and well produced. And WCW just always seemed amateur with that stuff. Like, they just never really had a good production presence in my mind. They were always just, when they got bigger and they got Hogan and they reached higher level, production-wise, it never seemed like they left 92. I'm like, you should spend some money on this and get a production team, like a good one. They had some good pay-per-view sets. They had some good pay-per-view logos, things like that. But their show never felt as refined as WWE's. All right, welcome to War Games. Winston-Salem. They used to hold a bunch of War Games in Winston-Salem. I know 97 was there. I don't know why I didn't go. Oh, new rules. Oh, yeah, this is kind of a 3-team thing. Is this the first year they did a 3-team thing? You want Flair chance? Is that what I hear? Oh, yeah, it's North Carolina. Duh. Help me out. When did the return happen with the Four Horsemen? That was in South Carolina. I think it was right around this time. It might have been the next night on Nitro. It might have been. I mean, it would be a short trip, Winston-Salem to, I forgot where they were, Greenville in South Carolina. That might be the next night. Flair might show back up the next night on Nitro with the Four Horsemen. Benoit and Malenko and Arn and all that shit. All in tuxes, Ric Flair crying, bit his tongue, bleeding. Yeah, thank you. The return was the next night. And you know what? We Are Pro Wrestling, I figured out all on my own. Aren't you proud of me? Don't go anywhere because I still will have lots of questions. I just used my intellect to put that together because I knew the Flair return was in South Carolina, and here they were in North Carolina, so it would make sense that all they got to do was drive a couple hours south down to South Carolina to get from Fall Brawl to Nitro. And that's how I figured it out. Chris Ludeck in the house. What's up, dude? Appreciate the tenor. What's up, Greg? Was the Nitro after this event the night Ric Flair returned? Also, what was your favorite War Games match ever? 92. 92 is my favorite War Games match ever. We did a review of that a couple years ago. Very good show. I'd probably say 92. Tough to beat that one. And yeah, we just put that all together, that Ric Flair does return the next night with the big Four Horsemen thing. And I was at Unforgiven a few months before in April. And that was the night that a lot of people were expecting Flair to turn up in WWE. It's really weird how they would open some of these pay-per-views. Just a lot of talking. Don't you want to blast the fans in the face with some good action and some pyro and some music instead of having Shivani and Mean Gene talk to us? Have a match first and then do all this shit. Oh, here comes Jericho. So we're going to open the show with 3 minutes of Bobby and Shivani talking. And then we cut to Gene with an Ioway promo. It's a weird way to open a show. I wish it was 1998 again. I wish it could be 1998 for like a month. Go do all the things I did in 98. It's a nice belt you got, Jericho. Hanging on the wall over there. All right, title versus title, says Jericho. Something tells me it's not the real Goldberg. You're calling me all day, Gene Mean. So Jericho just said that he's going to beat Goldberg and become the first double champion in WCW history. I will repeat that. Jericho said if he beats Goldberg, he will be the first double champion in WCW history. Does Jericho remember when Goldberg won the title 8 weeks earlier? Remember what he did after the match? Held up 2 titles. You stupid idiot, Chris Jericho. Speaking of stupid idiots, here is Glenn, the douchebag Inferno. God, his face. It's just like you just want to rain punches on it. I still can't believe they had a fucking trap door in the middle of that. And I just realized I don't have the NWO WCW Fall Brawl logo. I got the regular one. My bad. I try to usually have the accurate logos on this. I screwed up. Oh, yeah, it's the dancing douches. And this is the match. Now, what I also don't understand, if there's a trap door in that ring, why not use the other ring? Like, you literally have 2 rings there. Or put the trap door in the other ring, the far ring, so all the action takes place in the front one. Like, who made that decision? If you're going to have all of your matches take place in the front ring, put the fucking trap door in the other one. Well, I guess it's maybe hard for... No, it would serve the same purpose. Warrior could crawl under the ring and under both rings to the next one. There might be a gap there for fans. Oh, yeah, there is. But just do it when the lights are down. He could do it. Oh, okay. Thank you, Shivani. Okay, they're going to alternate the rings. So they're going to go back and forth. But still, is it a good idea to put a tag team match in the trap door ring because that adds more bodies? And it really hurt my heart to see these 2 guys there. Like, a year before this, I mean, look at Davey. Davey doesn't even look good here. Like, he's stopped working out. You know, 1 year prior, 15 months prior to this, we're in the thick of the Canada-USA feud. Davey never looked better. Owen never looked better. Heart Foundation was so strong. And to see these 2 guys here coming in, Brett helped get them there, I guess, and get them jobs and paydays. But, like, Bulldog looks a shell of himself. He doesn't even look like himself. It's crazy to me. 1 year later, he would be back in WWE after Owen Hart died. I'm getting text messages from the person whose ass I'm whipping in fantasy football. She is not happy. Too bad. 2-0 Greg. 2-0 Greg with a auto draft team. It's hard to see where that door even is. I think I see it over by the W. Oh, maybe not. That might just be a mark on my computer screen. I don't know if it's in the center or where the fuck it is, but what a match. Disco and Alex against Neidhart and Davey. And this was not, this was different than when Davey went to WCW before. He came in like, 92, never won the title, which was surprising. But had a memorable run there, worked with Vader and had a couple of matches. He was present for the Shockmaster debut and all that shit. But it's sad to see Davey like this. I mean, granted, the bump on the door hadn't happened yet, but he already looks like he's physically not himself. 1 year prior to this, he was in England for the one night only show, dropping the European to Shawn. He was in great shape for that match. Fuck happened? He just looks old. Davey looks older than me. I think I'm about 10 years older than Davey was here. I would guess that Davey's like 36 here. And I'm 46. I look younger than him. Billy Silverman. Let them fight. Oh. Chris, 5 more from you. Who's your first memory of a double champion? Yours was Diesel 94 at SummerSlam. And remember when Shivani called Disco and Wright the Dancing Dildos? Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's a better name than douches. Dancing Dildos. That fits. Well, first double champion. I guess off the top of my head, it would be Warrior at WrestleMania 6. But let me think. Is there one before then? What? I don't think so, but Pedro was IC champ and tag champ pretty close together, I think, but I don't think they overlapped. So I guess the earliest one I remember would be Warrior, but I feel like it happened in the NWA somewhere. Definitely happened in Japan. You guys with multiple belts over there all the time. Neidhart, all things considered, looks relatively slim. He doesn't look as bad as Davey, to be honest. And there was other times in Neidhart's career where he didn't really look great. Brian Alvarez calls them that. Well, good. Brian Alvarez is right. Shout out to Brian. He gets a lot of heat. I like him, though. Oh, drop toe hold. So who's what? Is Disco and Alex supposed to be the babies in this? Oh, I think I see the trapdoor now. Stupid USA agent when Dildo and Anvil are American. I think you mean Davey. Or no, Dildo is American. I'm sorry. I guess Alex and Davey would not be American. Yeah, why would you chant USA when it's like one USA guy in each team? Davey is wearing the gear. Those are the tights that he wore in the Brett match at In Your House in '95. Got all bloody. It's probably the same ones. It's really hard to see, Brandon. It kind of just blends in with the Fall Brawl logo there, but it's there. It's somewhere near the logo, the WCW logo, I think. Nice. I feel like the bump might be coming here soon. Davey's in the ring. I forgot if it's a backdrop that he takes. I think it's a backdrop. Ooh, crowd loves the chops. Oh, Davey on a roll. Hell yeah. Ooh, another flat bump. Yeah, I'm keeping my eye out for a backdrop because I feel like that's the move that it happens on. Mm. There goes Dildo. Did you just call him Nideville? Nideville. He did call him Nideville. Nideville. Jim Nideville. I think my favorite match of all time was Jim Nideville versus Jeff Harvey. So good. Look it up. They wrestled at Summerfest. It was awesome. This feels like a long match. Should have been over 3 minutes ago. I'm just doing a readjust on my Peacock timer here because I got off-centered a bit. Just waiting one more. Boom. There we go. Oh, that was the worst looking slingshot. He hit him on the bottom rope. I guess I don't really know where the trap door is. I thought I saw it, but I think I'm just seeing the creases in the mat logo or something. You got the VHS version of Fall Brawl. Okay, good luck following along on that. We're watching heavily edited Peacock version. Yeah, we are pro wrestling. I remember Davey tried to move around much, but he couldn't. And then he had the bad injury, and I think that's when he got I think that's when he kind of got hooked on the morphine and all that stuff, and it tagged to Alex. And I remember a year later, Davey, when he came back, this would have only been. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is right there. That had to have been it. Oof. That had to have been it, right? Davey's a little slow. He's going to try to power slam him with the back? God. Ugh. Just hard watching Davey like this. He's just not himself at all. I mean, I'd argue that, oh my God, the referee drops down. I'd argue that Davey was already really letting himself go by the time that injury happened. Look at, oh my God, oh, it sucks. Oh, that sucks. He got the win with it. Did you see how hard it was for him to get Disco up? He's got to know something's up. God, he just looks so fat in the face, you know? Just doesn't look healthy at all. Sucks. He just doesn't look vibrant. He looks sluggish. He looks out of shape, out of breath. He looks tired. It's heartbreaking to see him like that. All right, by the way, we do have the Sunday night game on. It is Patriots rocking the old school unis. I like it. Against the Dolphins, which have never changed their unis, I don't think. So that's kind of cool. Oh, there's the back. Yeah, they just showed a replay of the backdrop. That's what did it. And then him struggling to get Dildo Inferno up for the power slam. I think Davey is another guy that kept his music. That sounds like the WWE version of his song. Okay. Hey, look, it's the green room. It's a private dressing room. He's not coming in. He knocked on the door, you dumbass. Don't you have some math to do? I have different opinions of Scott Steiner. Everybody really liked Big Papa Pump. I didn't. I didn't like the character. I thought it was stupid. Him and his booty daddy and all his shit, his catchphrase. It was just not good. I liked Scott when he was like a smash mouth tag team wrestler and not this goofy shit. I was never a big Papa Pump fan. I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. I thought when he got to this point in his career where he's so freakishly big and strong that he lost a lot in his in-ring capabilities. So Scott's trying to get out of the match with Rick. It's a doctor's note. He's got a Band-Aid right there. That's where he's injured. Look, right there, JJ. Are you blind? My Band-Aid. Yeah, you don't fuck with JJ Dillon. JJ in this role, I never saw him get bested. Whenever someone tried some shit, in would come JJ. Say, no, idiots, you're not doing that. He's picking up the pieces of the note. I love that. What a touch. What a touch. We can tape it. We can tape it. Okay, banned for life. Gene, you are on one tonight. You're hilarious. Chris, 2 more from you. Without Big Papa Pump, we never get Steiner math. True. But I'd be willing to sacrifice it. I could live without the Steiner math. It's great. Got referenced just last week on Dynamite. But, oh God, they got Walls of Jericho coming out here for Jericho. So annoying. God, he's... Boy, my former state mates, North Carolinians there, they're a grim-looking bunch. Winston-Salem's dirty. Don't go to Winston-Salem. It's trashy. I never like going down there, ever. Raleigh's okay. Charlotte's okay. The mountains are cool. The beach is cool. But them middle areas, man, them in-betweens. I don't know how the fuck Tim Duncan lived here for 4 years. There we go. Finally. All right, here comes Jericho Personal Security. Jerichoholic Ninja and Ralphus. Ready, Jericho? Boy, this is quite the production. High Point. Yes, Bryce. I've been to a wedding in High Point, and when I went there, I was a groomsman at one of my best buds' wedding, and the night we got back from the wedding in the big hotel we were staying at. And for some reason, Master P was there. He's lost. I love it. Master P was there, like performing at a party or something. Master P. That would have been like 2005. But High Point has got some good furniture. I also went to a lot of bowling tournaments in High Point when I was an amateur bowler. I got to see a lot of those smaller NC towns. Is he going to go outside now? I love it. He's outside. God, you fucking idiot, Jericho. Ralphus did pass away, correct? Rest in peace, Ralphus. I really think they should have brought him into WWE when Jericho went there, when funny as hell. How do y'all not know where the ring is? Just follow the people. Follow the noise. How hard can it be? Jericho finally coming out. I wish they were playing his WCW music. Oh, yeah. They do the same thing, and this is Spinal Tap. Jericho always had great little tributes like that. They're making another one? Did I hear that right? Did I see that correctly? Nobody in the film is dead. Rob Reiner's alive, Christopher Guest, and Michael McKean, and whoever the other one was. I think they're all alive. Old as shit, but they're alive. Oh, look at his little pyro. Spinal Tap's a classic. Yeah, this happened before they were going out to like perform on one of their shows or something, right? And they can't find the stage. And then the one guy gets like locked in his cocoon and he can't get out. Drummers keep spontaneously combusting. Speakers that go to 11. What a great, great movie. Oh, here comes Goldberg. Look out, Jericho. You're screwed now. Dumb. So they had this whole show without Goldberg even on it? Without their champion? He wouldn't be on the next one either because the main event would shut off before his match even played at Halloween Havoc. It's quite the fumbling of Goldberg there. So is he just going to say that he wins by countout? They're not going to bring out like a little Goldberg, right? He wins by countout or something? Winston-Salem's standing. What a way to tease them. Oh, no, it is going to be an impersonator. Nice. It's not even a little guy. Well, it's kind of a little guy. Oh, wow. Look at him. He's got a toy belt on. It's Gilbert. Had they done Gilbert yet in WWE? No, I don't think they did because Dwayne Gill would wrestle at Survivor Series and then do Gilbert after that. Gilbert. Look at this little tiny guy. What's he going to do? He's got that belt on. It's hanging on for dear life. It's latched. He's got the tattoo, though. It looks like a pretty legit tattoo. He's got the tattoo and everything. I never got a tattoo, and I'm really glad that I wasn't getting tattoos during the time when everybody was getting the barbed wire on the arm. I just wouldn't have wanted to be that sheep. Like every fucking guy has got to have the barbed wire on his arm. Originality. Where the white women at? That's my favorite sign so far. I saw a few. Not going to have too many women at the show anyway, but one dude's got his shirt off out there. Fucking North Carolina, man. They made him put it on, or he's putting it on. It's like, fans, you can have a good time, but you can't be naked. It's kind of weird that we have to tell you that, but it's a rule that needs to be enforced. 3-0 Miami. Can't believe Belichick didn't retire. That's so crazy to me. Come on. What are you doing? Oh, no. The walls tapped out immediately. Too bad, little Goldberg. Jericho 1. Greenberg 0. I loved the Jericho and Goldberg issue because I just don't really like Goldberg as a person. I think he's a jerk off. And Jericho doing this is exactly what I love about overly macho dudes who get very, very easily butthurt about their macho-ness being in question. And this whole thing with Goldberg apparently pissed him off just because of the way Jericho was acting. And he's too stupid to know that at the end of this thing, he's going to murder Jericho and give the fans the ultimate thrill. But Goldberg was immature and didn't understand how to think that way. Plus, he was a dick. I'm glad Jericho choked him out in WWE. It's like the way that one time when the way he was talking to Matt Riddle backstage, trying to like, intimidate him or whatever. I'm like, Matt Riddle would eat you for fucking lunch. My God, Goldberg, do you really want to scrap with him? My God, he just believes his own bullshit almost. I'm like, yeah, you're not a weak guy. You're a tough guy. You could probably win a couple of fights, I'm sure, but you're not a trained fighter by any means. WWE would do these backstage.com deals too. Theirs just looked better. Oh my God. Oh, Carolina dudes, get them out of my face. You guys are all weird. Y'all drink Sundrop and watch NASCAR. Y'all have mustaches too. I don't know why. Oh, look at her. The poof. We always called it the poof, the big done up hair on the women back in the 80s, and it's still in the 90s. The poof is still happening. Look at this. Steve and Scott. Why? Look at Heenan. Look at Heenan in the door. Why are we cutting to an outdoor daylight? Yeah. We don't ever get an interview. Do you mind? I'm wearing my good jeans and everything. My Tommy Hilfiger shirt is tucked into my jeans. Oh, motherfucker. Bobby watching through the window is hilarious. Norman Smiley. Oh, now they're there. Okay. What's your problem? That was a terrible segment. That was a pre-tape, which means you were happy with what you had there and you aired it. Is that even necessary? Ooh, it's a special challenge match. Who's this? I don't recognize the music. Oh, it's Smiley. What we just saw. Norman, yes, is still with WWE, right? Is he still in the Performance Center as a coach? I think he is. I think he's been there a while, unless he left and I wasn't aware. But I hope he's still there. Norman's awesome. Chris, thanks for 5. Yeah, you'll probably agree with that. Matt Riddle has wanted to legit choke out Goldberg since 2017. I'd get killed, but I legit want to scrap against Riddle. My friend in New Jersey has before. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, Riddle's kind of a hot mess with his life. I'm not really a big fan of Riddle and his behavior and all the stupid shit that he does. But I certainly wouldn't want to get in a shoot with him. And I would have loved it if him and Goldberg mixed it up. Like Jericho already kicked your ass, and he didn't even have fighting experience. You really want to mix it up with Riddle? It's not going to end for you, old man. Just don't like Goldberg. Just never have. Comes off like a douche. I've never listened to a Goldberg interview and thought to myself, what a humble guy. Never. Never. What a down-to-earth dude. Really seems to have a firm grasp on reality. I've just never thought that about him. All right, so it's Ernest and Norman. Cool, he is still there. Good. I know he's been there for several years. I'd learn under Norman Smiley if I was a young talent coming in. Give Norman and Jade a little time, a little one-on-one time. She's going to be just fine. By law. I remember when Ernest went to WWE, I didn't ever hear about him being signed. So at the time, I was probably only like 60 to 70% paying attention. And I just turned on like SmackDown one day and there he was. I'm like, when the hell did Ernest Miller get here? You know, honestly, I don't think this would be a bad shoot match because Norman can grapple, right? And Ernest, you know, he's got a little Daniel LaRusso in him. I don't know, Chris, who wins this? Who wins this shoot? I like how Smiley purposely has the shortest trunks possible. He's so smooth. Norman's athleticism. He had a grace to him. Good. I was hoping we'd go with Norman because I like Norman better. I've always loved Norman Smiley. I've always heard good things about people. I've never met him, but I've always just heard great things about him. Oh, okay, the trapdoor is where the star. Yeah, where the star is. That's where Davey took his bump. So it's a little lower. I was thinking it was more centered, but yeah, it's a little lower on the mat. Who's this guy from Miami? Tua who? He's the quarterback? He looks short. I don't even know who. Oh wow, good run. I don't even know who he is. Number 1 on the Dolphins, Tua Lua, whatever his name is. A little short running back looking quarterback. Good. I hope it goes well for Miami. Mm. Okay, so War Games later, Sting and Brett kick it off. So was it Sting, Luger, Nash, maybe, I think, on NWO. Then in WCW, it's Dallas, Warrior, Piper, and then Hogan, Brett, And I don't know who else. Somebody else. Scott Hall, maybe? This is Smiley's chance. Let me look up. I don't even know who is in the damn main event. No, Stevie Ray is their partner. Hogan, Brett, and Stevie. Nash, Sting, Luger, Dallas, Piper, and Warrior. Interesting. Good, Davey. Or David, I got the Dolphins game on my TV too. I remember years ago when New England was still kind of on top of the league, and Miami had that game against them where they used what's the formation? Not shotgun, some weird ass formation that was kind of new and kind of started. And they just kicked the shit out of the Dolphins, and then everybody started doing that. What was that called? But I remember it was one game where they either beat them badly or they came from behind and beat them, but they won with whatever that offensive formation is. Wildcat, maybe. Wildcat. That might be it. Which I don't even know totally what it means anymore. I forget, but they were stumping defenses with that when it first started. Wildcat. Thank you, Will Price. See, I was right again. I don't remember what year that was, but I really remembered watching the Patriots lose. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like later, Victor, the War Games match is going to be a cluster. Oh, yeah, I saw the news today about Jade heading to the PC this week, apparently. I talked about her a lot yesterday and how I think she should debut, and I think they should publicly announce her signing, do like a photo op with Triple H, contract, free agent deal, and Ernest wins. Son of a bitch. But just because Jade is going to the PC does not mean she's going to be on NXT. It just means she's reporting to the PC. They might want to have her, like I talked about yesterday, they might want her to work out there for 2 months and run debut vignettes for her on TV before they bring her in. Or she turns up at No Mercy, confronts Becky. I could see that happening too. Now you're going to cut a promo? First you beat Norman. And then you just said, what, one word on the mic and leave? Okay. Wow, I was right about that. He's been there since 2010. So Norman's put a lot of years in. He's helped develop the crop that we see on TV right now. Norman is the best. That means he was there helping groom Roman and Seth and everybody. Greatest. Look at these dumb little transformation, these stupid effects. I could make a better video package than anything WCW ever did. Just give me an hour and I'll put something pretty fucking awesome together for you. Oh, he wants to be a Steiner brother again. Oh. I'll hunt you down. Crazy that Brian Adams was there too. Ridicule. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Oh my God. I forgot about Road Wild. Huh. I like that you had to put the period by verse. My favorite WCW music is the NWO. Finally, Steiner's out there. Oh yeah, Norman, first solo trainee, turned into some girl named Sasha Banks. Yeah, she did pretty good in WWE. I'm sorry, I cannot stand her Mercedes Monet theme music. Money, money. It sucks. Like, why does she think that's good? Money. Fucking crisscross song, which is kind of cool actually. Money, money. I don't dislike Sasha, but I do think she has an ego. But she is a hell of a little worker, always has been. I think if I got to know her, I wouldn't love her personally, you know? He got in a bunch of trouble at WrestleMania at WrestleCon. And then I think they tried to rebook him and got all sorts of backlash, or somebody did. Somebody tried to book him for another. It might have been Starcast or something, another one. And then people like freaked and they said, okay, fine. We won't use him. And that's good. He was a dick at WrestleMania weekend. Makes no sense whatsoever why a human would blurt that out. He deserves any blacklisting he gets. Because all you have to do at these things is not be a jerk off. That's it. It's like the easiest requirement. Just don't be a fucking cockwad and you can come back and do this every time. But no, you got to hurl bigoted shit at somebody else. It's like, fuck you, dude. Get out and don't come back. He is really good. He's been waiting for this too. You know, I will say this about Rick Steiner is that after the turn, after Scott turned on him, I kind of thought Rick would be the Jannetty, like Scott was going to move on to a big singles push, but Rick held his own. He even had that pay-per-view match where he won the tag team titles by himself. Like they still booked him really strong, which I liked. Like they didn't turn him into Tucker or anything like that. He's had enough. Who's the older brother between these two? I think Robbie's older than Scott, I think, but I actually don't know. He looks older. Yeah, Braun Breaker's got the voice, but that's the way it goes. I have my dad's voice, but I also have I have like something that my uncle does too. It's kind of like a cough type of sound. Uh, buff. Double low blow. Shout out to Brian Hildebrand, little Brian in the ring with a beard, sport and scruffiness. He looks good. Look how good he looks. He looks like Bryan Cranston with spina bifida. Oh. These fans need to move their snacks. They're like their snacks, their Cokes and the shit is coming into the ringside area. It's not for your snacks, it's for wrestlers. Stupid ass fans. Steiner could trip over that. Oh, Bagwell's in porn movies now. Good for him. It's never too late. It's never too late to start a career in porn. Ugh. The way his muscle peaks up like that is so freaky. Oh. Good thing that DDT wasn't on the trapdoor. Jesus. I am sick of Buff. Really unsavory story about Buff too around this time. I think he like punched a production team guy or something. Like, how did he not get fired for that? He did some sort of physical assault to somebody that just made him look like a complete asshole. Scott might be bleeding from the head a little bit there. Stiff shot from Rick. Oh, they're going to try to act like Buff's hurt. Buff's fine. His hat's on. It's my neck. Your neck's fine. Get up, you pussy. Bryce, Buff was my favorite at this time. Biggest regret of my life. Yeah, I never liked him. But Buff and Scott had a lot of fans. Like they were over. I just didn't like either of them. But Buff and Scott both kind of left the tag team ranks to turn into really over the top characters where they were a little bit more plain before, with Marcus Bagwell and the Stars and Stripes and then the American Males shit that he did. This is so stupid. Okay, they're going to immobilize him here. This is all going to lead to the finish or something, right? Is he all right? Oh, now Scott Steiner, now even Rick's concerned. They're all concerned. Don't get fooled. Don't get duped. You would have way more medical personnel out there by now if this was even close to legit. This guy looks ready to give him mouth to mouth. Oh, 10-0 Miami over New England so far. Like, this is a colossal waste of pay-per-view time. Like, this is going on way longer than it has to. All you got to do is pretend he's hurt, they do a no contest or whatever they're going to do here, and move on. But instead, they're just burning time. There we go. Oh, here comes the gurney. Yeah, don't be in a hurry or anything. Let's just walk slowly. It's not like a man's life is in the balance or anything. Now we have to sit through this while they put him on this shit. That's something that I would be really bad at if I was a wrestler and I had to do an injury angle and I had to get strapped into one of those things, like the neck and then the head strap. And I would be so claustrophobic, I'd have a panic attack. I wouldn't be able to do it, especially if it was right after a match and I'm already kind of like out of breath and breathing heavy. And then they start putting all this shit. I would get hot. I'd feel like I was suffocating. Like I would lose my mind. I would not be able to do one of those segments. And I would tell them too, like, all right, Greg, you're gonna go out there and get your ass kicked, and we're gonna do this stretcher deal with you. I'm like, I can't do a stretcher. Yeah, I'll do a stretcher, but you can't put shit around my neck and tie my head down. Like, you can't do any of that. Just stick me on it. No straps. How fucking long? Oh, yeah, of course, another referee will help the situation. Forget doctors, EMTs, ambulance technicians, nurses. Let's send Mickey J out there. Look at Steiner helping out with the board. Here, I'll help. I'll do it. That short lady had trouble getting up on the apron there. What a waste of time. I cannot get over this. Like, this is 1998 pay-per-view. Every minute is precious, and you are burning 20 minutes here for crap. You could have done this shit the next night on Nitro. I just love that Rick's trying to help. Or not Rick, Scott. Scott's trying to help. They don't need your help, Papa Pump. Hmm. Well, Tony, nobody gives a shit about your neck. Oh, yeah, that's right. Buff would wear this neck brace for a while and they'd make it a whole thing. But it's just wasting time. And they would have this problem the next month, too. We watched Halloween Havoc last year, I think. And there was so many stupid filler matches on that show. Like, there's no excuse for them running out of time for their main event when you're given 12 minutes to Ming and the Barbarian. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Just shave off 3 matches that you don't need, and then you got all the time in the world for Dallas Page and Goldberg. It's idiots. That's why I always roll my eyes whenever Bischoff wants to criticize AEW. I'm like, you are in no position to criticize anything that a wrestling company does. Anybody. With all the stupid fucking mistakes you made along the way, the idiotic things that you did, you're going to now sit here and pass judgment like you were, some great success. You had a short little window there in WCW from like 94 to 99 where things were good, but that was it. During that time, you mismanaged your roster. You let the wrestlers do whatever the fuck they wanted. You signed them to ridiculous contracts and allowed them to have things like creative control and other bullshit in there. You had no infrastructure behind the scenes. You had nobody really in charge of anything other than you. Nobody knew which way was up. Nobody knew what to do. And then he's going to sit there and criticize Tony Khan for not doing shit right as a promoter. Get the fuck out of here, Bischoff. You have lost your you have lost your right to criticize card. That'd be like CM Punk criticizing UFC guys for being shitty fighters. Why don't you look in the mirror there, sport? Oh, there's Bischoff. Very concerned, Bischoff. Probably just had a bunch of Miller Lights in Hogan's trailer. The fact that Rick is even there, too. Look at Rick continues to help, or I'm sorry, Scott continues to help get Buff in the ambulance. So what are they going to do here? Close the ambulance doors, and then it's going to be Rick and Scott kind of by themselves? Call his mom. Call Judy. You got to call Judy. You got to let her know. Call Judy. I wish I could go out for like drinks with Judy Bagwell and Sue. Those bitches would have some fun. Oh, we'd be knocking them back. We'd probably go out dancing, the whole deal. Me, Judy, and Sue. Night on the town. Oh my God. All the way after all of that, he actually comes out. I thought they were going to do this whole thing legit. What a waste of fucking time. That whole ordeal, did it take 20 minutes? I feel like it did. You didn't fool anybody, Buff. Robbie's going to be like, I'm going to fucking kill you guys now. I'm going to bring lead pipes and bats. You made a fool out of all of us. Well, you guys kind of made a fool out of yourselves. Bobby legitimately thought he was hurt. All right, next match, who is it going to be? Silver King. Is that Silver King? Yeah, it is Silver King. Hell yeah. Who's he facing? I don't know. Spaz Phoenix is chiming in with 10. Thanks for that, dude. Star-studded SmackDown. Jade coming to WWE TKO News. The Judgment Day recruiting both Usos and lots more on this week's episode of WWE Last Week, dropping tomorrow at 7 a.m. on all vid platforms. I assume that means you record it tonight and then schedule it for tomorrow? Is that how you do it? Check them out. Check out Spaz. Yeah, it was a SmackDown on Friday was a fun show. Seeing Rock and Cena share a handshake and a hug. Just touched my heart. Oh, Hoobie. The next year when Jericho would debut and Rock would call out, Hooventude, you little jabroni. You think I should be impressed because a couple of months ago you were wrestling a guy named Hooventude? And then Hooventude didn't like it. And then on WCW, Hooventude, when he would like come to the ring and climb on the ropes, he would do the Rock's little thing that he did at the time. He tried to capitalize on the rub from the Rock. It did not work. I always liked Hoovy, but I heard a couple of shitty things about him. So he might not be the greatest dude. I don't know. Taking his mask off, also very offensive to me as a wrestling fan. It's another thing I don't ever want to hear Bischoff complain about anything when he was the dipshit that literally took a shit on the legacies and importance of luchador masks and how little he seemed to care about that stuff. Oh yeah, Judy just got duped. Judy hasn't been in yet, right? She's probably going to come in after this. Is that what happens? When does the Judy Bagwell on a pole match happen? Oh, there you go, Spaz. Thanks for 5 more. With the actors on strike, I'd love for a just for fun 6-man match at Fastlane. Rock, Cena, LA Knight versus Miz, Waller, and Theory. Just for fun. Man, that would be such a mismatch, though. God. The heel side needs way more star power than that. Otherwise, that's going to be a fucking squash. Cena beat all three of them by himself. Oh. I equal parts see amazing star power potential in Grayson Waller, but I also don't like him for some reason. He just hasn't connected with me yet. Maybe I'll get there. I mean, it's hard to really appreciate a douchey heel unless they're just exquisitely good at their job. And he is maybe even better than Theory to a degree, but I need a little more. Oh, okay, so that didn't happen until 2000. Okay, I was thinking she might have been in the next year or later on this year, but I was way off on that. Yeah, I guess they were running out of ideas by the time 2000 ran around. Let's stick Judy Bagwell on a pole. Silver King, man, he was pretty fast and agile for a dude his size. He passed away a couple years ago, I think, like kind of recently, I think. I always like Silver King and the Vianos and Super Calo. Me and my roommate would always call Super Calo Jerry Callow from My Cousin Vinny. Jerry Callow. I'm not Jerry Gallo. I'm Jerry Callow. Callo. So we always called him Jerry Callow. Spaz Judy versus Sue versus Shelton Benjamin's mama. Yeah, but I don't think that was really his mama. Judy and Sue legit gave birth to Buff and Trent. I don't think. Wasn't it an actress that came out and played her? Or am I thinking like Bobby Lashley's mom, whatever they were doing with Sammy and him? Maybe I'm getting conflating those two. But I didn't think when they brought in Shelton Benjamin's mama that it was really his mama. Wasn't it that dancing lady? Oh, yeah, Barry. It was a forklift match. That's right. They didn't actually hang her ass from the pole. That would have been pretty funny. But the old Judester just stood on the forklift. Hmm. Oh, okay, so Shelton, I couldn't. I thought there was a personal connection between the woman and him. I guess he handpicked her or whatever, but it wasn't his legit mom. So I think Spaz, it's got to be a shoot mom. You got to be a shoot mom to be in a match like that. Who else's mom has been on TV throughout the years? Oh, I feel like we've seen somebody else's mom. Oh, Mrs. Dad. There you go. Throw Mrs. Dad into that. I liked Mrs. Dad a lot. The first picture I ever saw of him, I'm like, that guy looks like I don't even know what. He just looks so crazy looking to me. I'm like, that's the Mrs. Dad. But then once you see him a little bit more, you get to know him a little bit. I'm like, he's great. But at first, I'm like, good Lord. 20 more from Spaz. Thank you for that, dude. Apparently, Becky and Tiffany are running the NXT title match at house shows. I saw some highlights from that today. Stratton is so good at her blonde, stuck up gimmick. People are overlooking how great she is in the ring. And yeah, I think like we would probably all agree Tiffany is better than Mandy Rose, right? In ring. And Mandy was fine. Mandy was still very good. But I think Stratton's better. She's got that great moonsault, swanton, floaters that she does. So good. Oh, almost a win for Hoovy. But I'm glad that her and Becky are getting some reps in there because they're probably going to have a rematch at the No Mercy. And maybe that's where we see Cargill. We don't even know yet. I'm reading some of the Twitters real quick, and it's really funny, like how Raj, who I like Raj a lot, Raj Giri is like convinced that Jade is staying, but I think he's kind of getting proven wrong on that one. Like, let it go, bro. I think she's gone to WWE. I think it's pretty obvious. Oh, Silver King with the big. Oh, I thought he hit the. I thought he ring post bumped his head, but he did not. I wonder how old Silver King is here. He definitely looks 30s. Whoa. Wow. An inverted Frankie. And he kicked out? What the fuck? Jesus Christ, man. Fox Star Killer with 10. You guys are being real generous tonight. Thanks. I just like hanging out with you guys watching wrestling, but I definitely appreciate you supporting the channel. It's awesome. Thank you for that, dude. Funny story. When Hoovy was fired in 2000, WWE misnamed him Salvador Guerrero, Chavo's real name, on their website, causing Eddie to freak out and call Chavo to ask, "What did you do?" I love that Eddie's first instinct was to blame Chavo instead of blaming the idiots that he works for. That's hilarious. I don't think I ever heard that story. That's funny. Wow. You see that double springboard? Silver King was good. I always liked all the Mexican guys. Like they were all, yeah, he didn't hit that well, but at least he's in position. Oh. He beats the King of Silver. Hoovy. Tatanani, who is Sue? How do you not know who Sue is? She's been a big part of AEW, rolling up there in these matches with her cookies. In her van. Hey, at All In, when she drove up in that van, was the steering wheel on the other side? I don't remember. Oh, ouch. This reverse Frankie. I mean, that's, I guess, what is that? It's technically a poison Rana, right? Wow. I do miss these days. Like, it's a weird match to put on a pay-per-view, but a lot of the matches were like that. Like, that's another thing that Bischoff, I've heard him criticize about AEW. You're not having any stories or whatever. You don't have any stories here either, motherfucker. We're watching Silver King and Hoovy and Neidhart and Anvil against douchebag Inferno and what's his fuck. I mean, what's going on here? There's no stories here. It's just matches. It's like half the card is just matches. No reason behind them, no story behind them, just a match. Oh, look at this. Scott's got his cocktail there. That looks like a, well, it's got a lemon, so that's probably a bourbon and soda or something. 7 and 7. Oh, Conan's like, I'm Oh, yeah. Tell you what, though, Scott and Conan shoot fight would probably be pretty good too. Scott Hall's tough. Conan definitely is. Conan reminds me of a couple guys I work with. I got a couple dudes in the kitchen, Mexican guys. They're awesome. They've been there forever, but they talk like him. Like some of the things they say, they're just very matter of fact. It's not their accents I'm talking. I'm just like the delivery of their words. It's just so similar. And I always laugh. I'm like, I'm working with two Conans back here. Oh God, Lodi. Are we getting a Lodi match on pay-per-view? Apparently, Lodi's from my old stomping grounds in North Carolina. He's from the same town. My friend worked with him a little bit. This Canyon. I miss Canyon a lot. Dude should be here today. He should have never once ever felt ashamed or scared of who he was. He's a big, intimidating guy who can hold his own. Yeah, motherfucker, I'm gay. Got a problem with that? Got a problem with that? I didn't think you did. Saturn wants to. What's with the yellow headband on Saturn? What's going on there? Oh, break Riggs' fingers. I do like the denim that Canyon's rocking. He kind of looks like Scott Hall in his debut. There's no honor in breaking this kid's fingers. Why does he have to do this? Why does he have this? Oh, is he just trying to prove himself to the flock? You're not going to break my fingers either, asshole. That's what I'd say to Raven. Ah! Motherfucker. One of my favorite finger breakings was in like the second Equalizer movie. And Denzel goes into like the frat house where they had abused a girl and fucks them all up. And then grabs the last guy and just grabs his fingers and I'm like, oh, I couldn't even imagine. It's going to be so painful. Lodi is not here. Boy, they're showing a lot of replays, man. This is another Nitro. That looks like David Taylor in the ring, I think. I'm kind of lost why. Wait, what did they just say Nick Dinsmore? Did I miss it? Was he out there? Was Eugene out there? That was David Taylor in the ring with him. I don't know who they were referring to as Nick Dinsmore. You got 9 more to go. I'm going to break all your fingers. Well, isn't... Oh, I thought he said fuck. I thought he said fuck, go get him. No, he said flock, go get him. Phew. There is a lot of hype package for this one. It's not really a hype package, it's replays of shit that happened. No music, no nothing. Here's what happened 3 weeks ago. Here's what happened 2 weeks ago. Here's what happened 1 week ago. And that leads us to our match. Raven, F off. Yeah, I know, right? Barry, it's his nephew, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, and they're using the WWE music for Raven as well. Gotta love that. I'm going to fix my timer one more time because I've been 2 seconds off all night. It's driving me crazy. Boom. There we go. Now I'm right on the dot. So we had Jericho coming out to his WWE music. Now Raven's coming out to his WWE music. Okay. But why can't I don't understand why Saturn can't just decide to leave the flock. Is there a contract or something? Like, so the stip in this is if Saturn wins, he's liberated from the flock, and then if he loses, he's got to be Raven's butler. Oh yeah, Canyon's got to be cuffed. Okay. No, for crying out loud. It's like Sergeant Slaughter in China at WrestleMania 14. He's hooked. What you gonna do? Yeah, Canyon, you're on the bottom turnbuckle there, so you can't climb to the apron. You just got to sit there. I would hate not to be able to leave that area. What if there was like a big explosion in the arena or something, or some catastrophe happened, and everybody's fleeing to get out, and Canyon is handcuffed to the fucking ring post, and everybody gets out except him? That would be sad. I never knew that's where Saturn was from. Massachusetts? I thought he was from Minnesota or something. Yeah, all those knockoff Nirvanas and Pearl Jams they can't use. You never hear them on Peacock. Jericho had an Even Flow knockoff from Pearl Jam, and I think Raven had Come As You Are from Nirvana, and Dallas Page had Smells Like Teen Spirit from Nirvana. They were all knockoffs. And Fox Star's right. I've talked about this for years. It is funny that Jericho had Even Flow as his song, but Raven's finisher was called the Even Flow. They should have swapped songs. I mean, you take the headband off, he does have an Austin vibe to him with that vest. Quote the Raven nevermore. Okay. All right, Scotty Polo. Or wait, Johnny Polo. Saturn with his glasses on. Yeah. Referee Mickey J. He came into WWE with the buyout too, right? Mickey Hinson. I guess they couldn't have a Mickey J there with a Mickey James at the same time. So Johnny Flamingo and Scotty Polo. That's what we're going to call him from now on, Ray. In 1999 and 2000, back-to-back years. In 99 for Halloween, I dressed up as Chris Jericho because I had longer hair, so I was able to put my hair up in that top ponytail thing that he does. And I went to the store and bought like a sparkly shirt, and I had the TV title that I wore, and I looked really good. The next year, in the year 2000, right when Raven came into WWE, I dressed as Raven, and I had a leather jacket. I had my long hair kind of wet. I wore the title, the same belt, the TV title, and then I had like a flannel shirt tied around my waist, and it looked good. I looked good both years. And I remember this, I kind of regret. I was bartending, serving, managing all at once in this little Italian restaurant. One of my favorite jobs I've ever had. And Halloween, the owner was the chef, and he's like, "I want you guys to dress up." Big, giant, fat Italian guy. "I want you guys to dress up for Halloween. It'll be fun. It'll be fun." We had a small restaurant. We had 14 tables in the restaurant, super small. 2, 3 servers at the most is all you needed in there. And I dressed, and that was the year I did Raven. So I dressed up as Raven, and I waited on tables and bartended behind the bar, dressed as Raven. I was back behind the bar, and then I had 2 bar tables that I would take, and I wore my belt and everything. And now, like looking back, I'm like, I would never do that now, but back then I was like, fuck it. And I remember being like awkward for the customers to like have to be served or waited on by somebody dressed in a crazy ass costume. I don't even remember what the girls were dressed up as. I had two girls with me. I don't even remember what they wore, but it was crazy enough to get a reaction out of customers. But there would generally only be 3 of us, 4 max, working in a night. Yeah, your jaw hit, and then you also ran into the people's snacks. In these days, whenever I would watch WCW, I always liked Saturn. I always thought he looked legit. He looked like a badass. He was a guy that I wanted to see in WWE. Unfortunately for him, he came in with Eddie and Benoit right next to him. I think if he would have came in alone, he might have fared a little better. Oh. I think if he would have not waited until the year 2000, and let's say, for example, his contract was up right now, like right around this time, and at the tail end of 98 or early 99, they bring in Saturn, I think he would have been brought in with a push, with debut vignettes, and all this stuff, because that would have been a get. That would have been before Paul White came in, before Jericho got there. WWE wasn't at the point yet where they were starting to get people from the other side. And I think had Saturn gone to the WWE a year or 2 earlier than he did, he would have seen success. He would have seen success. They would have used him. And I think that really hurt him coming in 2 years later. Too much competition by that point. There was too much talent. They had so much talent in 2000. Not so much in 98. Bill, did you inhale? Shout out to Bill Clinton, one of my favorite presidents. And he had to be like, I didn't inhale when he was smoking pot. I'm like, no, I smoked pot, a fucking ton of pot. I was in college. What do you expect me to do? Be a nerd? No, I smoked pot. I had my fun. The American citizens always say they want someone relatable, right? What's more relatable than that? Dude tokes up on the weekend. Good for him. Instead, they got a big stick up their ass about it. It's reprehensible. Fuck off. Lighten up. Touch grass. Oh. Real grass, too. Smoke grass, touch grass. Never pass on grass. So look at this. Yeah, this panel trips me out on NBC. I think that's Jason Garrett, but I don't know who the other 2 are. Leaper. Come on, Saturn. You got to win this. I really try not to look at the results of the show. I did glance at the Wikipedia for a second earlier, but I did not catch the result of this match. So I don't know who wins. I don't know who wins the War Games match either, actually. I would assume it's probably Team WCW since Warrior's on there. They probably do win, but I ain't sure. It's kind of crazy that Warrior was in a War Games match. I had like no recollection of this. And I was paying attention to WCW at the time. Not as much as WWE, but I knew what they were doing. But I just did not know Warrior was in one of these. Snapmares are good. Backslide. Yeah, looks like some blood on the mat there. Dirty ass mat. Yeah, good point, Fox Star Killer. He could have had a feud with Austin similar to what Benoit had with The Rock, ultimately not beating The Rock, but still having some main event matches against him. I think Saturn could have done some shit. He had a great look. He looked awesome. And I just think he would have been somebody that WWE could have really used at that time. This looks very sexual. One thing about these WCW pay-per-views is they have matches that just go really long on them. WCW seems more has a faster pace to its pay-per-views. They just drag on here, like sticking their fingers up their butts half the time. Oh, let's just take 20 minutes to load Bagwell onto a fucking stretcher. We could have really rushed that and done it quicker to save time, but no. Drop toe hold. Hmm. Fucking horse. Who's this guy? Oh, Sick Boy. Who was Sick Boy? I don't even know Sick Boy's name. I always thought Sick Boy kind of somewhat resembled uh like a Bart Gunn kind of. He looks like Brett here. Ugh. But I don't know what Sick Boy did. I don't remember seeing him anywhere else other than here. I don't even know his name. Flock is here. Get the flock out of here. Death Valley Driver. And Canyon, you can't do shit. Oh man, we got no referee. Son of a bitch. Canyon, you can't even reach him. Ah, kick out. Like, what's the point of handcuffing Canyon if you're going to let all the other fuckers down there anyway? You should handcuff Canyon and ban the rest. What sense does it make to handcuff him if the other ones can just come down there? If I'm Canyon, I'm like, yeah, handcuff me. Who cares? There's 6 more of us that can run out here. What's the difference? T-Bone. Saturn's on a roll now. Belly to belly. Saturn's on a roll. See, can you imagine this little pit bull in WWE around this time? I think he'd be great. They definitely IC belt him up for sure. 100%. No doubt in my mind. No, that can't be the finish because that was lacking energy. I'm gonna go grab a cold one out of the fridge. Be right back. Jay. No. You guys had the right finish on that one earlier when Raven kicked out. Oh, rings of Saturn. Oh, tap his ass out. Yeah, how is Raven going to get out of this? Unless Lodi, son of a bitch. I'm about sick of Lodi. Lodi is not my idol. Lodi's pants or Lodi's trunks are a short version of what Jericho wore on his debut in WWE. He had like long ones that were black that had that. Oh no, Mickey J goes down. That had that chain shit around it. What is he always looking for the key? Hey, good job. Did you unlock it? He did. I feel like whenever there's something involving a key, it never works out. I think the biggest botch ever with the key was the fact that Roman Reigns actually did lose the title a couple of years ago to Kevin Owens in the Thunderdome because they couldn't get Roman uncuffed. And it was a last man standing match, and he was laying on the ground. It took 30 fucking minutes to get the key to work. And then you had to make up bullshit as to why he didn't lose the title just then. Oh, and Saturn kicks out. This is 6-on-1. And he's channeling his inner Rick Steiner. Rick Steiner seemed like he could really overcome the odds around this time as well. Yeah, will you dispatch of Lodi, please? Oh, the table is the table still out there? Please put him through a table. Oh, no, I don't see the table. Oh yeah, it is. Oh my god! Holy shit! I just thought he was gonna chuck him through it. He actually went with him. Did he DVD him on the table? Oh, even flow. Kick out. Yeah. Who's kicked out of the even flow? Even flow. Ah, yeah. Pretty sure Even Flow was the first like music video Aerosmith ever, not Aerosmith, Pearl Jam ever had. Eddie Vedder still had the really long hair. They were real grungy looking. Just to set myself free. Yo, Victor Cologne. Shoot brother 13 months. What a way to end my birthday weekend with a great watch along. Yesterday was my 40th birthday. If we didn't watch Fall Brawl 97, maybe we could watch that. I thought that War Games match was good. Yeah, I remember that was the Kurt Hennig turn where they set that whole thing up with the Ma spot and all of that. And when the NWO dressed up as Four Horsemen, that was all part of that. And I ordered that show on pay-per-view that year. I have the original recording of that still. So for some reason that year I ordered War Games, but this year I did not. But happy 40th, dude. Don't sweat 40. It's all good. 40 means nothing. I'm 46 now, but when I turned 40, I was mostly okay with it. I was actually, I think, a little more freaked out about 30. 40 felt all right. So I'm sure you'll be fine too, Victor. Happy 4 decades on Earth. That's pretty crazy. I'm so glad that he's liberated from the flock. So awesome. Ooh. Oh. That's right. Hacksaw was dealing with the cancer scare around this time. He was just in the hospital this week too. Best wishes to Hacksaw. Yeah, I think they cure Hacksaw. He gets back to TV. He goes heel, right? And joins the Canadian guys or whatever. Funny. We got a Malenko and Hennig cage match on Nitro? What the fuck? Okay. I'll take Malenko and Hennig in a cage any day. Rude's out there. Cloverleaf. Oh yeah, I did see a picture of a Hacksaw somewhere. That's where he went in and out. Does he live out here on the West Coast? I don't know why I thought Hacksaw like lived in Louisiana or something. He's all the way out here. I don't think they don't have in and outs. It's mostly west. I got an in and out in arm's reach of my house. It's literally like right over there. Oh, here comes Rude with Stevie. This is just terrible production. Like their show, like make a video package out of this. Stick some music in there. All you're doing is showing replays. They're not edited or chopped up. You're just showing the whole thing when you could, again, save time and just have your production team belt out a 90-second video package or less here. Just giving you a quick rundown, recap. That's all you need. They just do everything so shitty in WCW. Like that was why they always annoyed me. Is because I always felt like I'd do it completely different. Oh, they're gonna do this? What they did to Flair last year? This must be what, a Dean Malenko and Hennig match that we're about to have here? Oh, somebody's coming. Oh, Arn. Arn wipes out Hennig. Oh my God. Takes out Rude too. Look at Rude taking a bump. He couldn't take it anymore. My spot. Oh my God. They're going to fight? Look at Arn in there kicking ass. I don't remember him doing this. This is a whole year after he retired. Arn, he's probably still only 29 years old here. Pretty sure he's. No. Can't tell if Arn might be rocking a Hilfiger shirt there. When I was in high school, it was all about the Tommy Hilfigers. My God, I almost laugh now looking back. These stupid shirts that the white kids would wear, and I was one of them. I had like 8 or 9 Tommy Hilfiger shirts, a couple button downs, a couple collards. Looking back now, I laugh. I wouldn't be caught dead in something like that now. Hennig was still in good shape, always was. Hennig and Rude together. Not my favorite look for Rude here. He looked more like a Rick Steiner, actually, with that mustache of his. All people from North Carolina can whistle real loud. I've got all sorts of interesting facts about my old home state. Everybody can whistle. Yeah, tiny ass aisle. I didn't even see that from the wide shot. It's a very short run from the Tron to the ring. Kind of a cool match, though. I mean, I'm liking Malenko and Hennig. I don't think these guys ever got a chance to ever work together other than this. Yeah, you should put him in the cloverleaf, and then Hennig should tap out immediately, like SummerSlam. We want Flair. They definitely want Flair. That was cool. He put Hennig's leg up on the barricade and then drop kicked it. Yeah, I guess Kurt wasn't rocking the singlet here in the NWO. He had it a little bit, but I guess here this is a new look for him. Everybody was trying to look younger. Like just seeing like Hogan coming out there wearing like FUBU shit and stuff, like it just cracked me up. He was wearing those like one night he came out on Nitro and he was wearing like the type of jeans that Matt Hardy would wear, like that type of thing, like in the matches, like those black things with big extra pockets and shit. I'm like, what are you doing? You're like 100 years old. How do you do, fellow kids? What the hell? Yeah, he's gonna take out one of the wheels of Mr. Perfect. So can you be perfect if you only have one leg? Oh, that did not look good. Look at that white Coolio in the staircase there by the soup sign. Look at him. Look at his hair. White Coolio. Rest in peace to Coolio. Coolio died, didn't he? Maybe he didn't. I think he did. I hope he's on a fantastic voyage right now. Oof. Yeah, don't trust people. Cena's still wearing that shit at his age, dressing like a fifth grader. Hmm. Do I think Hogan, Mike 765, will be at WrestleMania 40? I hope not. You know how at WrestleMania 30 they did that thing at the beginning with Rock, Hogan, and Austin? I'd like for them to do that again, but make it Rock, Austin, and Cena. I think that would be fun. Like perhaps, literally the three greatest, of all time after Hogan. Kind of just distance themselves from Hulk. He brings nothing to the wrestling table at this point in his shitty life. Is he focusing on? Yeah, he's focusing on the one with the brace too. Smart by Dean, just went right after that. Weak spot. Look at how sweaty Rick Rude is. Or is that somebody throw a drink on him? Crazy is it that Rick Rude was only in his 30s here, right? You know, it's just nuts. He would die the next year. I think he died in 99. He might have been 40. I can't remember how old Rude was, but are you allowed to throw the dude in the other ring and pin him? Or do you have to have the match confined to the ring that you're assigned to? That would be a good way to give a babyface a win, but then have the heel get the last laugh by getting his belt back off a technicality or something. You pinned me in the wrong ring. Ooh. That's a Brett move that Dean just did there. Oh, this. Hey, Brian or Mark Curtis, wake up. Dean Malenko is the only current living one in this entire match. Hennig, Rude, and referee are all passed away. All tragically, all early. Hennig was an OD. Rude might have been something similar. And Brian Hildebrand was cancer. Mm. Ooh. Stomp to the face. No. Oh, he's in a perfect plex him? Oh, come on. Well, that's the bell then. DQ? Okay. All that just for a DQ finish? With a sweaty Rick Rude laying in his elbows. He wouldn't have died. I think he would have gotten back in the ring. Would have been awesome. Oof. Here comes Arn. Look at Rude and Anderson getting into it. This is crazy. Wow, they're setting it up like Flair's going to come out here, but he doesn't. Who comes out? Maybe Benoit? Is Benoit run down? Where's Benoit anyway? Oh, yeah. I guess he's got an arm wrestling match with Bischoff. Not anymore. Big Sexy Junior. No, I don't think so there, pal. Kid's probably in jail now. So we've had a DQ and no contest. How many? I think that's 2 so far. Arn. Now he's got a tingly arm. Is he left-handed? Oh yeah, if Flair would have came out here, that would have been pretty epic. But they were saving it for the next night. Did anybody ever watch the show Big Brother? I never did. Was Luchasaurus on that? Just saw something about that on the Twitter. You New World Order. I can't remember exactly, but I think the Ric Flair return the next night might have been like the last Nitro that they ever bested WWE in the ratings. Because after WWE beat them, they did trade victories a little bit, I think, through the summer. Like, I think they won the night Goldberg won the title and had some moments where they were able to come back and win in the ratings after WWE caught them. Then they were neck and neck for a while before WWE fully passed them. So during that time, they still had a few victories here and there. And I think that Horseman show might have been one. But after that, game was over. Yeah, he does look kind of drunk. I don't even know who he was wrestling. Oh yeah, Conan. I already knew that. Never mind. Oh really? A lot of the luchadors were on the Mexican Big Brothers. That's cool. 1026 was the last one. Wow. So they won. They won almost up until Survivor Series. I thought WWE was just whooping them by that point, but I guess they were still hanging on. Hey, don't you have to be in the other ring, Scott? Is he that drunk? Virgil's like, go to that ring. First, Jericho can't find his way to the ring. Now Scott Hall doesn't know which ring to be in. Nobody's got their shit together in this company, I swear. Ah, big jump, big leap. Big Brock Lesnar leap. Too drunk. Yeah, T85 backup. I wasn't a big fan of Goldberg either, but I was starting to tolerate him, his return and dropping the belt to Brock at WrestleMania. I liked all of that, but I didn't like any of his returns. And then I still cannot believe they did that. Just so fucking dumb that they had him beat the Fiend. One of the stupidest decisions that company's ever made. Oh, good. Give his cocktail there. That might be I don't know what it's red. Is it rum and Coke? You would have a lime, not a lemon. It's survey time. And 17-3, Miami. Or that was my favorite part, the or. Was Scott, yeah, why wouldn't Scott have been in the War Games match? Why wouldn't he just be there instead of Stevie Ray and you just don't do ever whatever this match is? Ooh. Fucking shoot fight between Scott Hall and Rick Rude would be pretty interesting too. I wonder how they got along. The Lame Wolf Pack. They're all there to see the Lame Wolf Pack. Oh yeah, they had that song. I didn't like that either. It was over to a big part of the audience, but I thought a lot of that stuff was lame. I thought the Wolfpack was lame. Fuck off. Wolfpack was lame. I never found it to be cool or edgy. I thought NWO was great at the beginning. That's when the personalities of Hall and Nash and how cool they could be were coming through, shining through. But now they're just trying too hard. Well, let's get a rap song and wear Tupac bandanas around our heads. Like, Kevin, you're white. Hate to break it to you. They keep showing this girl with the blonde hair. Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack. A-Dog. K-Dog. I was only 21 years old when this show aired. Still nursing the hangover from my 21st birthday. That was rough. Jesus. I yacked so hard. I just love how Conan went from being somebody had no charisma at all to this over the top shit. All right, they're bowdy and rowdy, whatever the fuck that means. I just thought it was all really dumb. I thought it then, I think it now. Hey, Conan, you're not in the right ring either, dude. Yeah, Scott's dancing around to the music. I love that there's actually a gap in the rings. You know, WWE's War Games, they put like a steel plate in the middle so nobody can fall down there. Like, no, let them fall down there. It's part of the fun. Why do you guys have to ruin everything? Hall's just going back and forth to the rings, pissing off Conan. I think the previous year, I remember a Hall and Zabisco match. That must have been the previous year because I remember them wrestling in a 2-ring deal. So that must have been a Fall Brawl 97 match. Olale. I am kicking ass in my league, 120 to 95. I have 3 players going tomorrow. Sanders for Carolina. Is it Olave or Olave for New Orleans? And Cleveland's defense at Pittsburgh, which might not be good. But she only has quarterback. Watson. Going tomorrow night. So I think I'm going to win. We got to do World War III. I forgot about the World War IIIs. We need to do one. We're going to do one. We're going to do one next month or November, whenever World War IIIs happened. I think those were Novembers. We're going to do them. We've never watched a World War III before, and I think we have to. I remember the first one I watched on like a scrambled pay-per-view feed. And trying to visualize what they were talking about, having the 3 rings and the 3 battle royals at the same time and all that shit. I just thought it was weird how some wrestlers wore like skateboard elbow pads, like with the hard plastic shell on them. I wouldn't want to get an elbow drop with someone wearing that. Like, I don't know how you can wrestle with a gold chain and a cross and earrings. Like, if I'm Scott Hall, I'm just ripping the earrings off and then choking him out with his own necklace. Oh, too tall. Conan's just going to blast you in the face. Yep, he did. Barry's going to go with the 49ers. That's cool. I always grew up liking them in the Joe Montana and Steve Young days. My mom was hilarious. She kind of had the hots for Joe Montana. She wouldn't be secretive about it either. Oh, there you go. Yeah, kick him down to the gap. Kick him in the gap. He might have gotten kicked in the gap the year before, too. Yeah, but my mom was thirsty for Joe Montana. It was pretty funny. So she always really liked the 49ers, and I think a little bit of that rubbed off on me. But I was Detroit first. Look out. Yeah, Conan's not that dumb. I keep calling him Conan, like Conan O'Brien. Conan. Like, he's the barbarian, not the O'Brien. And he spells it with a K because he's K-Dog. Because that's edgier. Sounds better than Sea-Dog. I love that he's got to take a swig of his warm mixed drink that probably has something carbonated in it, which is flat by now. The lemon is still attached, which is hilarious. So I don't know what $2 cocktail you're drinking, but stop drinking it. Yeah, Titans and Chargers are kind of rivals. Yeah, my boss goes to Tennessee whenever the Chargers play, and he goes and wears his Chargers shit there, or he did when we were in San Diego. When they were in San Diego. But I always rooted for the Chargers. They're my second home team, and then they left. So I had the Lions first, and then the Chargers leave me. Lions lost today in overtime. So did the Chargers. Not a good day for Greg. World War III, 98. Who even won that in 98? It wasn't the first one in like 95 with like Savage, and Savage, I think, won that one. think that was the year of the Yeti being there too. Because it was like 3 rings, 3 giants, and it was like the giant and then the Yeti. And then I guess the other giant was Hulk Hogan, but figuratively giant because of his name. I thought that was lame too. They brought in everybody for one-shot deals. I think Greg Valentine was in that, and Jim Brunzell, maybe a bunch of just randos coming out. They had to fill 60 people out there. I think One Man Gang might have been in for that too. Oh, Dolphins running away with it. Looks like they just got a turnover. They're up 17-3. Third quarter's coming to a close. They're probably going to win. I was like, nah, Come on. Oh, no low blow visual. Juvenile White Coolio was still front and center on our TV screens there. The kid's definitely in jail now, 100%. Got addicted to meth in his teens. 2 years in juvie. And then when he got out, immediately got back on crack. And he's in jail right now, serving a 4-year term for slinging crack. I'll bet you anything. Actually, he's probably a senator. He looks to be about 12 there, which would probably make him. Jesus, this was 25 years ago. He's probably in his late 30s now. Yeah, definitely in jail. Scott Hall's happy hour. He's a pretty competitive match for someone who's hammered. He's even being cagey and shit, like hiding stuff from the referee. If you're that drunk, you shouldn't be able to maintain balance on this abdominal stretch anyway. Unless you grab the ropes, which he's doing. Like, why does Billy Silverman have to be right in his face? Like, why can't you just stay in view of everything? Oh, come on. I mean, how much more does that really hurt the move? Sometimes when they would do grab the ropes for leverage, it doesn't look like it's giving them any. Like sometimes Greg Valentine would grab the ropes during the figure 4, or Flair would do that too. And I'm like, well, is that hurting? The figure 4 sucks. It hurts. So I don't think it matters if you got the ropes or not. Fucking move's painful, man. I let somebody in high school, a classmate, let me put him in the figure 4 to demonstrate. I'm like, because I was like, I put it on my sisters all the time. I'm telling you, it hurts. Wrestling's fake. And I'm like, well, will you let me just put you in it just so I can show you what it does? He's like, yeah, sure. He screamed like nothing. Holy shit. Like a kid was coming down on his shin and he just immediately was like, I tap. I'm like, I told you. He had to let me put it on him though. I don't think I'd be able to lock it in a fight. He had to voluntarily get put in it, but he didn't like it. There's some sort of disturbance in the audience. Another Carolina hillbilly going nuts, hollering and yelling stuff. Probably groping his girlfriend's titties while she's rubbing them off. Probably a congresswoman who thinks she's hot. Oh, thinks she has family values and all that. And she's stroking a Democrat right there in the seat. Way to go. Quite the party you have there, GOP. Oh. Oh. Scott is like, I'm going to finish this drink. Has he got a cigarette too? Well, this would kind of be a disgrace to Conan at this point if he were to lose this match, because Scott's impaired. He's not paying attention. He doesn't know what day it is. How is oh, kicks the drink. The Conan effect or whatever it's called. Conan factor. Oh yeah. Locking it in. Tapping out. Good to see Scott Hall tapping out. Tapping out in a match where he probably has a lot of say in what he does. So, in a company when he was working there anyway. Good win, Conan. Gotten many DMs from Conan over the years, asking me if I listen to his podcast. I'm like, I would, but your co-host is a douchebag, so I don't. I mean, they're like, Scott Hall wrestled a good match, considered he was sloshed. I know, man. Bengals 0-2. That does suck for them. I was kind of hoping they would do something. I got nothing against the Bengals. When I first moved here to California, one of the first people I met was Carson Palmer. He lived literally across the street from my restaurant, and he would bring his family in all the time. I think my second shift, he brought his whole family. I'm like, holy shit, that's Carson Palmer. And they're like, oh yeah, he's in here all the time. And he would continue to come all the way through his Arizona Cardinal days too. And then I think they moved, but I saw them as recently as like maybe 2018. I think that's the last time they were in. But he knew me by name. I always shook his hand and talked to him. He came in with his brother too, who was also a football player. And they were super nice. Like, I was like, I think I'm going to like this California place. I'm like, I get here and I immediately make friends with an NFL quarterback. Not bad. Ultimate Warrior is the bomb. Would you write that left-handed in the dark on meth? Nice penmanship. That shit always killed me. Bust them up. Oh, those signs. And that was something that was really funny going to shows back in the day, especially in like a place like North Carolina, and how poorly the signs would be written. I'm like, you got to put it in thick magic marker. It's not going to show up. I saw people writing signs with like a pen, like an ink pen. I'm like, you're not going to see that on TV. That's not going to shine through on TV. You need a big, thick-ass, girthy magic marker. A lot of girth. And use that to write your sign, not a fucking ink pen like you're in 11th grade. But it was mostly just kids who just wanted to write shit on the signs, and the parents were probably just letting them, but want your sign to be noticeable. Like, the sign has got half capital letters, half lowercase letters. That kid, he's probably in jail too. He's cellmates with Coolio. With white Coolio. All right. Who called Brett Hitman Clark? Who called him this? Was it Buffer? All that money that dude made, he couldn't get a name right? The guy had an insane contract. Like, if WCW, like, they made fun of Vince McMahon a couple of times, but like, all they would have to do is just bring Buffer out there and dress him like Vince. He looked a lot like Vince. These fireworks, they're going to raining sparks down on the audience. Boy, you guys couldn't spend any time, money, effort, or energy making quick little recap packages before your matches. But boy, you can set this cage on fire. Weird priorities. The combat zone. Oh, I loved Wrestle War when they were like on top of the cage and stuff. That was so good. Yeah, I like New England with the throwbacks. True fact, my late brother made a really fantastic sign for Chronic at a Thunder taping we attended, and the sign never appeared on TV. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, I was a big sign maker too myself, and I would always make sure it was very thick, very readable. And I did have one that made TV, very infamously, at the beginning of Unforgiven 99. It burns when I pee. It's the way you act when you're 22. What can I say? I've heard some rumors about Buffer's pay too, and every time I've heard anything about it, it's always sounded super high. It was so Buffer was the one that used Bret the Hitman Clark. What the fuck, Michael Buffer? So is it going to be one continuous theme song for all of the participants here? There's a lot of people here. There's 9 combatants here. So DDP's not coming out to his music. Might be a way to streamline it. Well, maybe not, because Warrior's probably going to kind of come out to his shit and run to the ring or whatever. It's got to be one of the only times Bret and Warrior were ever in the ring together. They never crossed paths in WWE, I don't believe. And then when Warrior came in '96, Bret was gone on his vacation. I think Hogan and Bret faced the Blade Runners on a Nitro once, which was really crazy. But Bret and Warrior being in the same ring and interacting was just bizarre to me. They have never been in a War Games event. Part of the reason why I thought this show would be funny is for the thumbnail I could make with Warrior kicking through the cage or whatever. When I Google image searched the pay-per-view and I saw something similar to that, I'm like, oh, that's funny. So I went and pulled my own screen cap and found a good angle. And I'm like, oh, that'll make a funny thumbnail. All right, same music again. So is this going to be Piper? He's not going to have his baggies? Oh, no, this is Bret. Okay. I don't get how the entrances are going. Let's confuse the audience by bringing out one teammate from each team and rotate them. Bret is the U.S. champion. So painful to see Bret in WCW. I never got used to it. It was just hard. I couldn't swallow it. Even though I love Bret, it may be like, I didn't like to see him there. I didn't like to see him as U.S. champion. I didn't like him doing anything there. Nothing Bret Hart did in WCW was any good at all to me, other than the Goldberg steel plate segment. Everything else was shit. And he would win the WCW title. It was just way late, you know? Yo, that's a rusty ass chain there, man. Get a new chain. What is with you guys? Is this a regular ass master lock too? I thought they said earlier it was Sting and Bret Hart were going to start. I guess it's Paige and Bret. I wasn't sure. Fox Star did. Bret didn't have. I know for this particular match they weren't using the theme songs, but did he? He didn't have his Bret Hart theme yet, which I didn't really like that one either. His WWE theme was just so recognizable. I can't envision him coming out to anything else. The funny thing is like Jimmy Hart was in the company, right? Around this time. He was there the whole time, ever since he left WWE. And Jimmy probably, I'm not totally sure, it might have been Jim Johnson, but Jimmy probably composed the early Hart Foundation theme dun, 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 that they turned into Bret's modern theme. So why couldn't Jimmy just put something together similar? He was able to recreate the Nasty Boys song. Remember? It was like the same. It was the same beat. Like it sounded the exact same. So I'm surprised that they didn't have Jimmy cut a knockoff of the track for them that they could have used. But then maybe WWE would sue for intellectual bullshit. Who knows? Three minutes left before we get a new one. I didn't know Ezekiel Elliott played for the Patriots. He ain't doing shit tonight. 13 yards. Damn. My opponent has him. How long has he been there? Was he an off-season signing, or how long has it been since he was in Dallas? Crazy. Oh, that's nice. Barry just saw a story on Twitter. Randy Orton once put his cock on John Cena's shoulder and got no reaction from him. Well, I think that's probably why, like, if Randy Orton put his cock on your shoulder, you would probably be so in awe of it that you would just want to take it in and just cherish the moment of being able to view it, to smell it, because it's so close to your face. And that's probably what Cena was doing, is just, taking it all in. This is the Viper cock. I've never thought I'd get to see it. So he probably got no reaction because Cena was just appreciating the moment for what it was. That would be my guess. It's just natural, really, natural reaction. Zeke was released by the Cowboys. Why? What did he do? Wasn't he putting up numbers? I always thought he was like one of the top running backs in the league. I've been asleep for the past 5 years, so that is shocking to me. Did he have like behavior problems or something? Did he get in trouble? Did he beat his wife? I always thought he was like a decent player. My YouTube is like, I'm going to cancel my membership. Good mic work. You are freaking me out smelling Randy's cock. That's a giant countdown screen they have on the Tron there. There we go. Who's next? We don't know, right? So they're not all at ringside for this. They come out one at a time. I guess that's because there's 3 teams and you can't have 3 doors up in here. You could. I'd put a hatch on the roof. I'd have 1 team on each door on the outside and then the 3rd team on top. Why was Slapjack in this? Why was it not Scott Hall? I always think of Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie and Booker, they do have a pretty incredible story. I remember when Harlem Heat first showed up, I was kind of scared shitless of them. I'm like, oh, those boys look legit when they came onto the scene. I'm like, how are you going to beat them? Look at them. They're ridiculous looking. It's huge and muscular and scary and tough. Booker and, or I'm sorry, Brett and Stevie Ray are working together. Canadian Heat. Oh, Calgary Heat. The Harlem Calgary connection. That would work. The Can-Am connection. There you go. The Can-Am connection. Brett and Stevie. So this sounds like this match is also not surrender, right? You can just pin him. I thought you had to surrender. I didn't even think, wait a minute, they've really goofed up the rules this year. I didn't think the match started until everybody was in the ring. So there's definitely some new shit now. So basically, you could pin DDP right here and end the match. That's what they're saying. That's what they're telling me. War games my ass. That's not very warlike. Unless it's elimination. It ain't elimination, is it? Oh, here comes Sting. Motherfucker spent 18 months in the rafters, all because he was accused of joining the NWO, and that hurt his feelings. So he's like, okay, I'm just going to leave for a year and a half and pout in the rafters. And then as soon as I come back, I'll hang out for about a year, and then I'm going to join the very group that got me butthurt to begin with. That made a lot of sense. Yeah, I did not like Wolfpack Sting either. I did like the red face paint. I thought that kind of looked cool on him. But I was kind of offended that they put me through that as a fan. Like all that time of Sting doing the whole thing, his whole personality changing over one accusation because a guy in a costume, a Sting costume attacked and they believed it. Why wouldn't he? He looked just like you. It's just a misunderstanding. Sorry, Sting. But he was so offended by it that he turns into the goddamn Crow for a year and a half. And then after all that, winds up just joining the NWO anyway. It was like the higher power. Like it doesn't make any sense. It was Hornswoggle being Vince's son. It was just stupid. Sting should have been WCW for life after that. But NWO was cool and hip, or the Wolfpack was, and they were baby faces, so Sting wanted to get in on that. But I think he would have been fine just being the Sting that he was. It'd be like, imagine Undertaker joining DX. Here comes crazy ass Piper. The wild man is loose. Going after Sting. We ever get any Sting and Piper one-on-one matches in WCW? We had to have. They definitely faced in a tag. I'm sure of it. Oh, Piper and Brett. So crazy to see them mixing it up too. Crazy. Wow, Brett and Piper. I just can't get over it. It's surreal to see this. Uh-oh. Why are they fighting? Oh, I'm really lost in the rules here. So it really isn't every man for yourself? Like whoever wins, wins the whole match. They don't win for the team, they win for themselves? This is the dumbest War Games match I've ever seen. Help me with the rules here. This is the clusterfuck of all clusterfucks, and we're not even halfway through the match yet. I don't understand the rules. None of that, it doesn't make sense. For some reason, you can pin people before everybody's in the ring. Got 2 referees in there. Here comes Lexi Sexy. He's about a 65% package. He's not the total package. He lacks a lot in the ring. He lacks a lot on the mic. The only thing he's got is a look. That's his package. Total package implies he has everything. He does not. Well, he's in the. It's every man for himself. It's the fucking Royal Rumble War Games, and Luger is a wolf pack, but Brett is a black and white. Like I said, Bischoff has got no business ever criticizing any wrestling promoter anywhere, ever, at any time. The complete mess of this company. It was amazing to me that they got ratings at all. They were able to handle themselves so well and pull in millions and millions of people when the shows were so poorly structured and presented and executed. WWE, even when WCW was kicking their ass, WWE always bested them on pay-per-view. Their pay-per-views were always solid, or more solid than WWE's. They had a few stinkers here or there. But for the most part, I thought WWE had better pay-per-views, even when they were losing. And that's never more clear than now. It's Big Sexy to join his friend Lexi. And they can be sexy together. And flexy. Okay, Nash going after Piper. Help me out. Is this before or after the Piper and Nash fight? They had a scuffle. That might have been it was probably this year. Probably earlier on in the year, if I had to guess. But I know they had a little scuffle, and pretty sure Nash got the better of it. Oh, Hogan. Hogan's out. I've got my weird hat. Oh, yeah, Warrior's got to be next, right? Oh. What has he got? He's got Stevie's Flapjack or whatever. Ooh, Brett is up. Brett is going through it. Torture rack. Brett's holding on to the top. Oh, okay. So that's why the trap door is in there, because Warrior's going to come up through the ring. I see what they're doing. Yeah, why is Hogan even in there? I feel like this is the worst War Games match of all time. I can't think of many worse than this. This is real bad. And there's all kinds of talent in this ring, or at least big names. Hogan's going to drop the leg on Nash. Just 2 years earlier, you started the NWO with that guy. Now you're dropping legs on him. Piper's down. Nash is down. So now the countdown starts again, and this will probably be Warrior, right? He's the only one left. Okay, so that fight was 97. Wow. Yeah, because Piper had been in for 2 years at this point. Okay, now the smoke's going off before the fucking countdown. You're not even at the bottom yet. Maybe they're running out of time pay-per-view wise. Is that why they rushed? It might have been. Look at the time right now. We're at 2:43. They might have had to speed things up a bit. They could have just shaved 5 minutes off of loading up fucking Buff in the ambulance. And Warrior gets taken out very quickly. Oh no, they're doing it again. More smoke. I can't see shit. And now he's gone? Oh, I was about to say, was it a fake out? Was it a look-alike? Because you never really saw Warrior's face. He just got beaten down. The Warrior, well, who the fuck was the guy on the thing? Fucking Renegade? I mean, it was late 98, man. Fans, at least for me, I was over the Warrior. I tried to get behind his 96 return, but it was shit right from the word go. Oh, look at Brother Brudai out there. The disciple. Love how the ring is just, the cage is ratchet strapped down. Jerry rigged. Production's so bad. The cage is, it's just bad camera angle. The mesh is too obstructing of the view. Knock that referee out, man. So Warrior is now locked in there and Hogan is out. Warrior and Brett. Fucking crazy, man. That's another match I'd take in a shoot. Have Brett take Warrior down a peg or two. His attitude. Brett, do you know what destrucity is? I'm like, no, but do you know what a broken arm is? Let me show you. The putrid Ed Leslie, Booty Man, Zodiac, Barber, Disciple. The fuck else was he? Oh, there it is. There's our thummy. Ah. Wow, Warrior, be careful on there, man. Oh, wow. That's quite the fall. He went down a few feet. Oh, yeah, he might have tweaked himself there. He is way too old and not athletic enough to be falling from that height. Wow. He's not human. He's human. It wasn't that hard. I could get out of that cage. Look at how shoddy it's put together. Any of these guys could. They're big enough, strong enough. They do enough tugs. Oh, did he hit Brett accidentally with the slapper? DDP wins. So it is every man for himself. Then why is there teams? Why is there teams if a title shot is on the line? Okay, so that's how, okay, I never knew that. That's how DDP's title shot comes to be at Halloween Havoc. It was the stip in this match. Okay, but still, that is the dumbest War Games match I've ever seen. I'm glad I don't remember anything about it because it sucked. And DDP's music is edited here too, I'm sure. Crazy. Oh, God. New England's on the goal line. I don't want Ezekiel Elliott to get a touchdown. Yeah. All right. That is a wrap on WCW Fall Brawl 98. I'm glad we watched that one. I did enjoy the show. A lot of the card was pretty funny, but man, I just did not understand that War Games match at all. That was just a bizarre clusterfuck change of rules that I'm not used to and I don't like. So I don't know what they did in 99, but it probably isn't that great either because WCW was struggling in 99. So, man, oh man. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are agreeing with me. Oh, yeah. Sting and Goldberg the next night. Yeah, Bischoff, these pay-per-views, we've been noticing this every time we watch one of these. And I remember when we watched Halloween Havoc 98 last year and how many matches were completely useless, waste of time, filler bullshit. It's not like they got caught off guard. There was an easy way to make sure that your main event played for everyone. And that is just time your pay-per-view better. And if you got to dump a match, if you got to dump Ming and Barbarian, just dump it. You had Jerry Flynn and fucking somebody on the card too. I'm like, what's going on? Just get rid of those matches. Do them on Nitro. It was such a waste. But anyway, no War Games in 99. Okay. Oh, so this was it? Oh, what a way to go out, WCW, because War Games was one of the only concepts that really felt exclusive, unique to them. And they ended it with such a fart. Oh my God, what a bad way. No War Games in 99 and 2000. And then it wasn't brought back until NXT. Didn't know that either. What the hell was the pay-per-view in 99? Some other shit? Who knows? But it probably was Fall Brawl. It just was no War Games match. This was the end. So this is the final War Games match in WCW. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing, man. Anyway, it was still fun to watch the pay-per-view with you guys. At least right now, I'm planning to come up here tomorrow night after Raw, even though we covered a lot yesterday. I feel like we might have some things to talk about tomorrow. I think that any day now, we could see some WWE layoffs and things like that, some talent cuts and whatnot. So kind of keeping an eye on that. And whenever that happens, we'll come up and talk about it. But yeah, we should be here tomorrow night, unless tomorrow I'm just feeling like it might be useless or pointless to do it. But otherwise, I will plan to be here tomorrow night and we will hang out again. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. And I will catch y'all tomorrow night after Raw to talk about the show. Peace. Oh, by the way, you guys are the best. Thank you again for all of the comments, keeping me entertained. All the super chats. You guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Barry says there's another War Games on a Nitro in 2000. Wow. Jesus. See, I don't remember any of this stuff. I got to do my WCW research and do some homework. Anyway.